What's up, Reds? Welcome to the Sunday Summary World Cup edition. I'm your host, Kyle. With me, as always, is Steve. It's good to be back in honor of the World Cup. We took last week off, and hope you guys enjoyed that week off. But we're back. Liz, Tony, Oyvind, everyone in the chat, what's going on, guys? Steve, how are you doing today, my man?
Good morning. I've been better, honestly. I came down with a second bout of COVID one-niner.
Oh my God, I completely forgot that's what it was.
Yeah, so
I
I've been battling
completely
COVID
forgot.
for the last week or so.
Jesus.
Uh, Definitely messed up the Thanksgiving holiday, but I'm feeling better. I was in really rough shape for like 3 to 5 days, really rough shape, but I did have a chance to at least just lay down and watch the World Cup. So that
Is
was
it
nice.
worse this time around? You're getting
Way
COVID?
worse. The worst time, easily.
Really?
The first time I got it was about a year ago, and
Oh,
I
I
just couldn't taste
remember.
or smell, and I felt tired. Yeah, you
Yeah.
remember. But this time, I don't know if it's a different variant or what, but I thought I had, like, it was like a very bad flu.
No
Like,
kidding.
everything that's bad about being sick, I had for 4 days straight. It was crazy.
Dude, that's just absolutely crazy because you work from home, right? And I know a lot of people work from home now, and I still go in and knock on wood. I've been fortunate enough so far to not get it. And I work directly with COVID positive patients, dude. It's insane.
You're immune, Kyle. You know what they say.
What do they say?
I don't know what they say,
What
but
do they say, Steve?
you're immune, dude. You're immune. That's all I know.
Well, look, today we're going to be discussing the World Cup. I know, Steve, you had something you wanted to add into the chat before we jumped into it.
Yeah, I just threw something in the chat here. Um, I think it might take a second to come in, but it's essentially with the holidays coming up, I just put a link in the chat to our merchandise store. So if you guys have been thinking about holiday gifts for your loved ones, your family, your friends, other Reds around the world, or even just yourselves, feel free to check out our merchandise. You know, we never push anything like this on you guys, but it is available. And there's a promo code on there as well. So um, I'm sure some of you folks have other, Liverpool supporters in your family or your friend group, or maybe not. But if you're looking for holiday gift ideas, feel free to check out the store.
I love it. I love it. Now, going back to last Sunday where we didn't have a show, we kicked everything off with the Qatar and Ecuador match. I just want to open this up by saying Qatar is absolute garbage. I think if we rounded up everyone in this chat right now and put together a squad, we could beat Qatar. Okay. They're out. They're out of the World Cup already. First host nation to go out in the group stage, I think, ever, which is kind of crazy. Now, Steve, can I ask you, do you know if you're the host nation, you automatically get a bid?
I believe so.
Okay, I don't know that for a fact, guys. So let me know in the chat. But they lost Ecuador 2-0. Okay, Ecuador surprisingly decent, and we'll get to the groups in a minute. But that led us into the second day, and that's when USA opened up against Wales, and USA drew with Wales, and that's when you say it's called soccer. All right, now Steve, I need to get your opinion on this because okay, this is where I stand. Okay, yes, we're in America, and yes, Americans call it soccer. However, given that this channel is dedicated to Liverpool Football Club, I have adopted saying football. And I think that's the correct way to say it, only because we're talking about the Premier League and European football. We don't talk about MLS. However, I think if you're talking about MLS or you're talking about American football, this is where it gets tricky. I think it's okay to call it soccer, but it's just football in Europe. What do you think about that?
Um,
Like, I legitimately feel like I should be calling it football.
I typically do. Depends who I'm talking to.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
there's a lot of people over here that I talk to in life that aren't supporters of European or like the Premier League football like you and I are. So they wouldn't understand if I just said football because everything related to football over here is the NFL and
That's
college
true.
football,
Yeah.
American football, right? I say football as much as I can. I think definitely have adopted that. But at the end of the day, I think in the dictionary it's called soccer. Um, I don't really care, to be honest.
And
It doesn't. I don't think it matters because really, it's like every country in the world against like the U.S.
it's
So it's
really what it
football.
is.
I mean, Canada too, maybe. I don't know.
I don't even, dude,
Um,
I think Canada's against us too. I don't know.
um,
All I know is I kind of felt like it was making the US look bad in a way. However, I respected the patriotic approach to it from Christian Pulisic. Like isolated to the World Cup, I was like, that's pretty badass to pull up
Wait.
your
So
shirt.
what are you exactly talking about?
So when
The
he
commercials
scored,
or something else?
so when he scored, he pulled up his jersey and he had a shirt on underneath and it said it's called soccer,
Okay.
which is
I got
kind of
you.
badass. I mean,
It's
it's
funny.
it's pretty patriotic, but at the same time, I was just kind of like, "Oh no, here it comes."
Cringe.
Yeah, it's just like, "Oh, seriously, cringe." Yeah. So going back to that table, you got USA drawn with Wales, and I actually predicted Wales to come out of that group with England. I didn't think USA would get out of the group, but Netherlands opened it up with a 2-0 win against Senegal, a Mane-less Senegal, and then Iran, of course, just getting waxed by England 6-2. So, you watch any of those games?
I have watched bits and pieces of all of them. Scroll back up. These games. You're talking about Senegal and
Yeah. Yep.
yeah. Bits and pieces of the Netherlands game. They're not the same with their injuries. England, Iran, of course. I guess. What were your thoughts? I guess on this.
On the first
Uh,
on the first group of games,
yeah, right here on Monday, not the Qatar match.
yeah, no. I made a bracket and everything. I have Brazil winning the whole thing. I have Brazil beating France in the final. Um, and I have Netherlands and Senegal making it out of Group A. And just based on these matches, the England against Iran, I didn't predict a 6-2. I thought that was actually a phenomenal score. Good for England. They should have beaten them 6-2, so good for them. The USA Wales match, I think it's good for us. You know, we're holding our own. As long as we're not losing, we have 2 draws so far. I think the England match more so. Drawing with England was big for us. But Netherlands against Senegal kind of surprised me because when you look at Netherlands, okay, I think I have Netherlands going pretty far as well in this competition. But they don't really have many attackers, dude. Like they started, I think, Klassen and Bergwijn as their like attacking duo. And I could be wrong with the Klassen, but they're still a very strong team, very good talent in that squad. And
Klaasen's an attacker.
that's what I thought I saw in the first game. I know Bergwijn's playing up there.
I thought it was Depay.
No, Depay was subbed on. That's what I said. I thought Depay was actually playing, or was starting the match. But either way, I think I could be wrong. I think Klassen played midfield. Um, Either way, my point is it surprised me how well Netherlands is doing, given that they don't really have like a true striker out there, or they didn't in that match. But again, Senegal's missing Mane. You think Senegal would be doing really well, and they're actually in third, I believe, in that group. So
Yeah, I think for me, guys, let us know what you think in the chat here. Netherlands, Doug, you're a legend, by the way. Nice. I feel like we haven't talked to you in a while.
yeah, what's up,
Nice to
Doug?
see you. Netherlands have the worst batch of strikers ever going into this tournament. Missed the days of Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie, Van. Not even going to try that one. Hoosdon, and
And
Dennis
Dennis
Bergkamp.
Bergkamp.
Legends.
But
Anyways,
those are all legendary strikers. You know what I mean?
right. So one of my good friends said this to us. Um, said this to me the other day. He said, after watching some of the players at the World Cup, mainly Van Dijk, he feels like they've been saving themselves in the Premier League so that they can get to the World Cup fit and fresh.
Mm-hmm.
He said he saw a different side of Van Dijk that he hasn't seen this entire season. Van Dijk putting in slide tackles, harder challenges, appearing to be more vocal, more focused, whatever the case may be. So I'm curious to see. I wanted to ask what you guys thought about that. We definitely got a super chat that just came in here from Liz.
Let's change the name, Steve. Soccer AM is a pretty good show. It's got to be a show on ESPN or something. That's how little I follow, like MLS and all that. I just don't even know.
So are you not? First of all, thanks, Liz.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you not allowed to put links in these descriptions? It's probably a rule, I would
I
imagine.
think I may have set that as like you
Yeah, I
can't
can't
put
put
a
the link
there.
in here. So
Yeah,
that's all
my
right.
mistake.
That's all right. You make mistakes quite often, so I'm used to it.
No, I'm damn near perfect, to be fair. But
Anyways, U.S. Let's wrap this up.
yep, U.S.
Deserved 3 points, both matches. We'll talk about the England match, I'm sure.
Yeah,
The Wales match was definitely a good match. I think a draw could be fair. I'm not going to sit here and complain, but the penalty at the end of the match, that hurts, man. That hurts.
Of course it does.
Doug saying here they dominated the first half versus Wales. I would say the same thing for probably the start of the second half. Then Wales took over. I'm not mad about the draw there. The England match, however, I'm excited to chat about that in a few minutes.
Yeah, we're working our way down here. The big upset of the week was Saudi Arabia over Argentina 2-1. Completely did not see that coming. Nobody saw that coming. And really, it's just laughable. But then you got Argentina winning yesterday. So I don't know how much that match really mattered. But I did see that apparently Saudi Arabia, they all got Rolls Royces for winning that match. I don't know how true that is. But good God, could you imagine?
I'm sure it's true.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's true.
All right. Moving on, we got Denmark, Tunisia, 0-0, as well as Mexico and Poland. I had Mexico coming out of that group, and they're in dead last. So pretty much over there. Now, the first match I was able to watch of the World Cup from start to finish was France and Australia. France, Mbappe masterclass, as it was yesterday too. France are just a dominant force. Like they are just miles above, I think, every team they're going to go up against, with the exception of like Brazil, England. Like I feel like their talent is just unmatched, you know? And Kanate got to play in this match. I thought Kanate looked pretty good. I think Australia is a G League championship level team, but they put up a fight early. They went up 1-0, and then France just came rolling back 4-1, man. So I'm not sure if you were able to watch that game, but
I did not watch that one, and I did not have any interest in that one.
yeah, it's kind of a boring matchup. France, Australia. So
Yeah.
now,
Yeah, there's only one way that's going to end. To be fair, I have not been too impressed with France. Like 4-1 over Australia, that's expected. Every player on their roster is better than every single player on Australia's roster. But yesterday, the Denmark game was a lot closer.
it was, but they still won.
They did, but take Mbappe off the pitch.
Well, that's the thing. Mbappe
Right,
masterclass.
but what I'm saying is you're talking about all of their talent. I haven't seen much of that. I've seen Mbappe.
All right, you're
He's
just being
dangerous because he might be the best player at the tournament, but
he's by far the best player in the tournament.
they're not the same team they were last time, I don't think. And I think they're missing Conte a bit.
That's an interesting point. Could be missing Conte. They got Griezmann playing midfield, which is weird. And
I saw Griezmann playing wingback yesterday. I was in tears.
Griezmann
He's still making
hasn't-
$800K. Is he still making $900K a week?
He's probably making that, and he hasn't scored an international goal in like 11 caps.
God, they will not give up on Antoine Griezmann.
They won't.
All the forwards you guys have, even without Benzema, all the attackers you guys have, and you can't find a spot for Griezmann on the bench? It's unbelievable to me. It's unreal.
Oh my God.
So
Dude.
these coaches, they just don't let go.
No,
they do not let go. It's like Southgate. He's a whole nother can of worms. I don't even.
But that's what we're going to talk about. That don't get me wrong. Once we're done reviewing all this, but one thing I do want to say is with international play politics comes into it. 100%. We talked about this 2 weeks ago when we talked about Sane not making the German squad. Okay. Back in, I think it was either the Euros or the 2018 World Cup. I think it was the 2018 World Cup. Um, it's just astonishing. Everyone knows what politics is like in sports. You pick who you like, it might not be necessarily the best talent, but that's why Southgate's a perfect example. It's why Trent's not playing. It's kind of ridiculous. Even though Trippier's had not terrible, but hasn't been at top form, and Trent hasn't sniffed the pitch. Or
No,
maybe
listen,
I don't know.
Trippier out of the four, right? The four, Trent, Walker, Reece James, Trippier. He's number 4. I would say that's got to be the general consensus. If everyone's fit, he's the 4th choice. But Trent's been in poor form. Walker's been battling injury. I guess, is Reece James out too?
You got me, dude.
Injury, I believe. They were all banged up or in poor form. Trippier's the only one that's like kind of hanging on. But the fact that he's playing he's okay.
Yeah, well, Southgate said
There's a reason he got bounced. He's been bounced around Europe.
Southgate said that he needs someone who plays well at both sides of the ball, and he claims that's Trippier. We know Trent's defending has been suspect in the past, okay? But Trent, talent-wise, has got to have the most talent out of any of those right backs. You could argue Reece James. I put Trent above Reece James, but Reece James, a lot of people don't like that I'm going to say this. Reece James is a very, very talented right back. Now, like you said, he might be injured. I don't know that for a fact, but I'll believe you. Let's say he's injured. If Trent's available, you got to play Trent more. I mean, he gives you something else that Trippier just doesn't give you. He also gives you youth, speed. Trippier is 31.
I don't think we'll see Trent. I don't think we'll see Trent unless they're up by a lot again, because they were. We didn't see him.
Which is actually good for us,
Wait,
though.
did he come in?
Which is actually good for us. I don't want Trent playing if he doesn't have to be fair.
Or if they get down in a game like 2-0 and their opponent's left winger, let's say, isn't like dangerous or speedy.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I think the stars have to align for us to see him put in a real shift, because Walker's back now. And
Walker. Don't get me started. Hate
look,
that guy.
I don't have anything. I don't really care for Kyle Walker.
No, I don't.
Trippier, any of those guys. They're whatever. I don't think we should waste our time talking about Trent, because it's just a broken scenario. It's not going to change.
It is. And so with that said, let's move on to Wednesday group stage matches. We got Croatia drawing with Morocco. What's his face from Bayern? Mazraoui went off with that injury. That kind of sucks for Morocco. I feel like he's one of the most notable players on that squad. For the neutral fan that kind of just tunes into the World Cup but knows about FIFA and stuff, Mazraoui is like one of the standout players on that squad. Croatia, always a good squad. Drew with Morocco. I think they should have won that match. And then you got another big upset. Saudi Arabia over Argentina, but now you got Japan over Germany. No one saw that coming. Thing I love about Japan, and they always bring this around, dude. Every 4 years, or whenever Japan is involved in international contests, even in the Olympics, they emphasize how well Japan treat wherever they go, whether it's the hotel rooms, the locker rooms, the stands. Japan is very environmentally minded. All the people of Japan, they're friendly, they're courteous. I mean, you got people staying after matches to help clean up the stadium. You got them making origami in the locker room. I have so much respect for Japan. And again, it's just what we're seeing. But dude, like, shout out to Japan for that, and shout out to their effort for battling to beat Germany. It's kind of
I loved that.
I
absolutely loved that.
Who wouldn't?
You look at a squad like Germany. They have so much talent up and down, and Japan, they looked good, and then they looked really bad, and then they just came back and stole it. Everything changed. They brought on Taki. Everything changed.
Dude, Minamino!
They brought him on. They brought on some other guy too, who changed the match. The subs were the difference there.
Yep.
There are some super subs in this World Cup that are making a name for themselves that will be at big clubs very soon.
I'm telling
That's
you.
another great thing about the World Cup. You can make a name for yourself.
Yes. I think about that constantly. I think about who is going to be the next player to get a big contract? Who's going to be the next Davinson Sanchez that gets a big transfer and then just warms the bench? Who's going to be that player? You know what I mean? Who's going to be the next De Bruyne who has a wonderful World Cup and then changes the game for the next 8 years? It's gonna be insane. And so far, I really haven't seen that play yet. Like for me, the standout player has been Mbappe, like goal wise. And then you got Valencia for Ecuador, but Valencia's older. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but it's just something to think about. Okay, let's keep moving on here. Spain over Costa Rica 7-0. I did not see that coming. I thought Spain were going to choke again, especially because they got Unai Simon in goal, who's a great goalkeeper for Bilbao, but I don't think he's any De Gea. But De
No.
Gea messed up, has been really bad internationally. So I understand why maybe he was let out or left out. Did you see that? I guess the president of the Spain FA sent him a text congratulating him on his retirement from international football, and De Gea responded saying, "I'm not retired."
I did not see that.
It
That
was
is
almost like
insane.
they were covering their ass because they left him out and they didn't want, and they got so much backlash for it. That's my conspiracy theory for the day.
Screw
So,
them.
yeah,
Screw them, honestly.
yeah.
They brought a terrible roster to the World
And their
Cup.
roster is phenomenal so far.
They're playing, they've played, what'd they play?
I think
They
they
play
play. I
today?
think they played today. They've played one game.
Well, yeah, they beat scrubs, Kyle.
They played Germany at 2 today. Oh,
That's a good one. But
I'm I'm
you didn't
oh
bring
no, dude.
Tiago.
Oh,
You
dude,
didn't bring Tiago. I'm still not over it.
I know
I'm
you're not
still
over
not
it.
over it.
There are so many important. Okay, first off, Japan lost to Costa Rica.
That was
Damn
insane.
it, that's insane.
Costa Rica gets waxed and then comes back and beats. This is why I love the World Cup,
It's
dude.
so good. I love the
Every
World Cup,
game is a Champions League final. That's how it feels. At
and
least
you
when your
only.
country is playing, when your
Mm,
nation is playing.
it's amazing, absolutely amazing. I just want to take a quick break and shout out everyone in the chat. We love you guys. Thanks for being here with us. Let's keep moving on. All right, and then Belgium over Canada. Anyone could kind of see that one coming. Canada, not as much talent as I thought there was going to be in that Canadian squad. You got Jonathan David, of course, and then Alphonso Davies. But honestly, other than that, I looked at their roster and I was like, I don't know any of these dudes.
No, but
And
they played well.
yeah, they played okay. And I don't know, Belgium, I expect more from Belgium. I have Belgium losing to France in the semis, and I have Netherlands losing to Brazil in the semis. So I need Belgium to start turning it on. Okay.
Did you get a chance to watch this match?
I watched the highlights of every match so far. The only match I've watched start to finish, unfortunately, just because I've been working and I've been busy, is France and Australia.
Oh, well, that's the worst one.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, okay, if you watch that match, Canada had over 20 shots on target, or over 20 shots.
Wow.
Yes. Here's the problem with Belgium. You think about De Bruyne. Well, that's great, but Lukaku's out. Hazard's terrible. His brother hasn't
Okay, I
hasn't
don't know about
progressed
Hazard.
like we
Hazard,
thought.
Hazard had some nice play.
Listen to me. He's still Aiden Hazard, Kyle. They have this dude. This has been their back line forever.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's Vertonghen and Alderweireld still. Tottenham Hotspur from 2015.
Yo, that's actually
That's two of
nuts.
their defenders.
That's
They
nuts.
have De Bruyne and Courtois. When I look at them play, I'm like, those are the only two players I have confidence in. Witzel, okay. Yeah.
My question: where's Jason Denier? Where are these up and coming Belgian defenders?
Who's the other guy? Jeremy something. We wanted him. Left wing.
Jeremy Doku?
Yes.
It's a good
I don't even
question.
know if he's playing. I don't even know where he is.
Yeah,
They have Tielemans,
they got an old squad.
Castagna, this is their back line. Den Donker, Alderweireld, and Vertonghen.
Yeah, that's washed.
Dude, Canada put 22 shots on them.
I'm gonna say Dendonker's pretty solid. However, dude, Belgium's got to turn it up. Liz here, Belgium and Morocco 0-0, 70th minute.
Yeah, Doku was on the bench.
Okay, so Doku's in that.
Trossard, he's good. He came in off the
Trossard is
bench.
pretty good. But that wave of top Belgian talent, like they're stuck in flux between the old squad. Like, all right, first off, Thibaut Courtois he's so freaking good, dude. He's found his form again. I don't know. He's just so good. I think he was really important in that game. He made some really good saves from what I saw. And
he is good, but their goal came from Batshuayi. Like, are you serious?
And
people are saying they have a shot to win this thing?
I got them losing in the semis.
I mean, it depends who they have to play. I haven't looked at the bracket in a few days, but yikes, that team is beat.
Yeah, they got to really pull out some like vintage Belgium to fight their way through this tournament. Moving on.
Well, they need to find a defender.
They got to find
one good defender, and they need Lukaku back. I don't even think he is.
Moving on to Thursday, we got Switzerland 1-0 over Cameroon there. They needed Matip. That's what happened. Switzerland has some solid talent. I've always been a fan of Switzerland. I have Switzerland going pretty far, too. I think I have them going to the quarters. Then we go on to Uruguay and South Korea. 0-0. Not too much to talk about there. Son ended up playing with the Batman face mask, trying to channel his inner Kyrie. Couldn't quite do it, but looked pretty solid. Darwin Nunez, he was dangerous. He had some dangerous chances from what I saw. I don't have Uruguay doing too much, but probably one of the most interesting matches was Portugal and Ghana, 3-2. Were you able to watch that one? Uh-oh.
No. Yes. No, I did. Sorry, I wasn't frozen. Portugal and Ghana. Yes, I did. They gave I thought Bruno was immense. He deserved man of the match.
Yeah.
They gave it to Ronaldo, though. That's another thing. We don't have to spend time talking about it, but they're giving the player of the match to the biggest names. It's hilarious. It's like, what are you guys doing? Have you noticed that?
I have noticed that, and I want to touch on that right after I say thank you to my mother for the super chat. We appreciate your support. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for all of you guys. But yeah, no, dude, they gave it to Kevin De Bruyne, and he wasn't that great. They gave it to Messi the other day. And then they gave it? Dude, everything about this World Cup is just sketchy. You know what I mean?
I think, you know what I like? I like I haven't heard of like a ton of problems. And this was supposed to be riddled with problems. Like, I think they were overbooked on like rooms and stuff like that.
Like every airline on the planet.
No, I mean like hospitality.
I know,
like places to sleep. Oh, yeah, like every. I got you. But I think, yeah. Overall, the product they're putting out to me is fine.
It's fine. So far it has been fine. I agree.
And the games are exciting for the most part.
This ain't no Brazil though. Like, I don't know. The Brazil World Cup for me. Maybe
it's summertime, dude. The sun was shining constantly.
You're right. I know.
It was insane.
It's different. This is mid-season. I get it. And, I wonder how much I feel like none of these players are out partying every night, but I wonder how much like the no alcohol affects, like, I don't know, the vibe. I don't know. I really don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird situation. I don't want to get too much into that.
The crowd?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, the USA supporters against England were unreal.
Well, we have to be. Because we're just embarrassing ourselves because we're the only country that calls it soccer. So we got to be rowdy.
They have something to prove.
They do.
Like
They do.
people love to like laugh at the United States for
They
soccer.
love it. They love people feed off of it. They hate us, Steve.
It's okay because every every England supporter had to look in the mirror after that match and go, "Wow, we got lucky." Because we dominated that match. We turned England men into boys in that match. They even surprised me. I know they have heart. I know the US are a young team. They have players all over Europe now. It's not a bunch of MLS guys.
Right, right.
And I know that England has 10x the quality. But when you want it more, it shows. And that's what happened. This is the World Cup. If you play a friendly, sure, I think we get beat 4-1. This is the World Cup. It means more, I think, to the US right now.
That is
And their
what's
manager.
so great about the World Cup is that you don't have to have the best talent. It's really what's great about tournament play in general. You don't necessarily have to have the best talent. But if you go into the match with a game plan and heart, you can make a run. You can really show out. And I think that's what the approach that the US has. I mean, I think you're right. We have talent. We're very young. We're more broad in terms of where our players play now. But I think we surprised a lot of people. I think you said it really well. I don't really have to expand too much on that. Um,
Well, we had 10 shots. We had more shots than they did.
yeah, we showed up.
We had
Showed
more
up good.
shots. They had 56% possession, which was fine because they started the first 20 minutes was all them. It was like 70-30 at that point. We had 7 corners. They had 3. I said this in our Discord chat. I thought Harry Maguire was immense in defending corners. He must have cleared 4 out of 7. We don't have someone that's going to get on the end of a ball from a corner. Like we need like a heading monster in there. We just don't have one. Because Pulisic's delivery was incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know what you guys think about the USA England game.
Then, of course, last match on Thursday was Brazil winning 2-0 comfortably over Serbia. You had Richarlison's nice bicycle kick. Brazil looks solid. It's what I expected from them. Moving on to Friday, you had Wales losing to Iran with the red card. And then Senegal getting over Qatar. Qatar, that was ultimately the match that knocked Qatar out. Senegal winning 3-1 as we expected. Netherlands drawing with Ecuador. That was the surprise for me. I have Netherlands as without a doubt the best team in that group. But Ecuador is really fighting to get out of this group. I have Senegal winning or coming in second in the group, but Netherlands making it hard for Ecuador making it hard for Senegal. And then
Well,
the match of
you
the
want to
week,
see,
you
you want to
had
hear some
England and
stats?
USA. England, USA, 0-0. Epic. We were already kind of talking about that throughout the show, but
Let's do this. Let's backtrack to Netherlands and Ecuador quickly. Because I love looking at numbers for games that I don't really watch. I saw some of this, but Ecuador had 15 shots. Guess how many the Netherlands had?
4.
2.
Wow. Well, this is what I'm talking about. Their attack, dude. They have a great defense.
Yeah. Oh, man.
They do. They do.
15 shots to 2.
I
4 on target for Ecuador.
You can have a
1 on
great
target
defense
for
and give up
Netherlands.
shots. You can have a great defense and give up shots.
Yeah, you can. You can. I'm just saying, like 15 shots to 2. That's ugly. What that tells me is Netherlands are vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
If they play a team better than Ecuador, which they will have to eventually, they could be in trouble.
Hopefully they pick it up.
Yeah.
Hopefully they pick it up. Ross, what's going on? Morocco apparently leading Belgium. Interesting. Oh, damn it,
Yeah,
Belgium.
that was a free kick. They were just saying Courtois was just like put in a blender and just like didn't know what to do on a free kick.
Of course. As soon as we talk about how great he is. All right. And then England, USA. We're going to skip over this because we already talked about this pretty much the whole time. Now, this was yesterday. Australia winning over Tunisia. Kind of I don't really care about that match, to be honest
I
with you.
don't know any of those players.
Yeah. Poland over Saudi Arabia, expected. I think Saudi Arabia overachieved, with that win against Argentina. France over Denmark. This is one we also talked about. It was the 2-1 win. Denmark looked pretty solid. I was excited for that game, and then Argentina over Mexico. I think Mexico need to be doing better, but Lionel Messi, and then who scored the second goal for Argentina? I can't remember, but I don't know. Lionel Messi scores a goal, and the entire world is like, he's the greatest. And
I think he's the first to assist in 5 World Cups.
Say that again?
I think he has an assist now in 5 straight World Cups.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an
Which,
interesting
if
stat.
that is true, I believe that's true. It's insane.
Okay.
That's 20 years.
I know, but
World
Ronaldo
Cups.
just scored. He scored in 5 World Cups, right?
4 or 5.
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I
Something
believe
like
that's the stat with Messi.
when he scored the penalty against Ghana. That's when it became like Ronaldo and Messi are setting world records right now. And
Mhm.
aside from the off the field antics, I mean, Ronaldo's just an absolute scumbag after all the stuff that happened over the last week. I don't know, dude. I don't want to get too much into that, and that leads us into today. We got Costa Rica over Japan this morning. Morocco is beating Belgium 1-0. Then you got Croatia and Canada. I may watch that game, but the big match later today, Spain and Germany. That is a huge match. I'm very excited to watch that match, bro.
Croatia and Canada could be good as well. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
man, Canada looks good. They looked good against Belgium. Croatia, we know they have some quality there, some experience. Spain and Germany, 2 high-powered nations just colliding.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good afternoon of football.
Football.
We don't have any horses in these races, do we?
No, just my bracket. That's all.
Just the bracket, no
Just my
players.
bracket.
It's sad when you think about how underrepresented we are at the World Cup.
Yes, but more represented than. Oh, wait, you talking about Liverpool or U.S.?
No. Liverpool.
Well, I
We
think
have 7 players there.
I think, dude, I am so glad it's only 7. I am so
Right,
glad.
but I'm just like I feel like every match I turn on, it's like just Chelsea players. There's Barca players.
But that's fine. Let them have it. That's fine. What has Barca won recently?
I don't know. Probably La Liga.
No,
Recently,
maybe like 3 years ago.
I don't remember, but I just feel like I feel like Gomez deserves a shout. I feel like Thiago got burned. Bobby got burned.
Thiago got burned.
Um,
Spain went with the youth movement. They went with the youth movement. That's all it was. I mean, they have a solid midfield, a very solid midfield. You got
Yeah,
Busquets,
but
Gavi, and Pedri, I think, which is it's pretty solid.
it's okay. We're gonna see how that midfield is today. If they play Javi and Pedri today, we're gonna see
No, you're right. And
because
then
they're gonna be getting bodied up by Mueller, Kimmich, who else? Gundogan. We'll see.
yeah,
They're
no,
gonna be
that
wishing they had
Germany's
Thiago
midfield.
today. I bet.
That's so true, though. Germany's midfield is much stronger.
We're gonna find out. Goretzka breathing down your neck. Goretzka's a monster.
Yeah, Goretzka. Everyone who plays for Bayern is just massive.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see Javi on the bench today. Gavi on the bench today.
Who
He's a
else is going to
boy.
play? I don't even know who's in their midfield.
They got other guys. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Rodri there?
Rodri, that's right.
They'd be smart to
Rodri was
play him
playing
today.
center back the other day.
Oh, jeez.
That's what's crazy about the World Cup and international play in general, honestly. You don't play your normal position. A lot of times you're playing the best quality available and you're just on the pitch together. There's not really a game plan. There's not really a system. It's just like it's chemistry oriented. It's talent oriented. You know what I mean? That's why
Unless you're
Grayson playing
Southgate.
midfield.
Unless you're Southgate.
Well, yeah, then Southgate.
Then you have the options to do that.
How many right backs does he have? 4?
More. There's more. There's more class right backs that we don't even talk about because they're not in the top. But anyways, one thing I will say, shout out to Hendo. He came on and brought the energy against the U.S. He seemed like one of the only players out there that wanted to play the other day. Shout out to him for England, that is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just an absolute monster. Came on the pitch and changed the tempo. And it was so cool watching like our nation play against Liverpool players. It was so cool for me
That is
in a
cool.
World Cup.
Yeah. And we have good players, dude. I mean, Tyler Adams, that kid is solid.
As soon as the match ended, I said, I want Tyler Adams as a Fabinho backup right now.
Really?
And there's somebody else that I mentioned. I can't remember who that I would love to have as playing CDM for us. Tyler Adams is really good.
Yeah, he is. He's very good. Tyler Adams. Yeah. I
He was
wanted
he was
Chouameni, but we won't get
he
into
was like
that.
imposing fear into that midfield,
Oh,
into Mount
McKennie.
and those guys.
McKennie.
McKennie's great, yeah.
Yeah. But you look at those players, right? Tyler Adams, Premier League. I know it's Leeds United, but it's Premier League. McKennie, Juventus. Like that was big. When they signed, I don't that's huge for a US player to be playing at Juventus.
But they're all there. Dest was at Barca. I don't know where he's at right now. Aronson's at Leeds.
I think didn't
Um,
Des go to did he go to Ajax?
he may be there. He's at big clubs. Matt Turner, he's at Arsenal. He's been at Arsenal for a little while. Um, Fulham has Robinson, our left back. The guy's a tank. He doesn't stop. He runs more than Robbo. His
Fulham
engine's
also
bigger than
has
Robbo's engine.
Fulham
It's
also has what's his
crazy.
face? The older guy, the older center back.
Zimmerman,
No, the other one.
Ream,
Yeah.
Tim Weah, PSG. Pulisic, Dortmund, Chelsea. Who else? There's a lot of players out
Yeah,
there, man.
people they need to stop sleeping on the US. We have a lot of young talent. Like the days of Dempsey were great, and don't give me like Landon Donovan, that's awesome. But these kids are like the next generation of football players. They're breaking in to big teams because they're finally seeing the talent in the US.
Musa, yeah, Maxwell saying Musa, AC Milan, guy's a tank. We're not saying that the U.S. are better than England by any stretch. They certainly wanted it more. I think they have a better manager. I truly believe that has them playing as a team with passion.
Yeah.
And it's an exciting. They're not a pushover anymore, and that's all we wanted. Be competitive.
I don't think
That's it.
someone brought up a point. Has Liverpool ever had an American player? I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
And that's surprising. I mean, Pulisic was probably the closest we got.
If you are not a fan of Christian Pulisic
Oh,
at this point,
Friedel? Brad Friedel. I don't even know who that is.
Brad
I've
Friedel,
never
Hugh Lester, Zach Whitbread. I just pulled up a random article here.
I've never heard of any of these players.
Yeah, it had to be a while ago.
It's before our time, Steve. How
Yes,
recently was
97,
Brad Friedel?
1912. Brad Friedel, 97. He was backup keeper. Zach Whitbread,
What a name.
backup to Carragher and Hippia. I don't know. Who cares? But anyways, the U.S. played great, man.
Yeah.
I was really proud.
Shout out to the US, man. And then briefly, I'll make some videos on this, but I just wanted to touch on the continued ongoing sale talk of Liverpool Football Club and Man United now that we're on it. I mean, Man United, apparently Apple are interested. I think that was more of a PR stunt because their stock price skyrocketed after that. Liverpool are now in talks with some Saudi Arabian and Qatar people. I haven't done too much research on that. But hey, $3 billion, that's the price tag. I don't know. This is big. And other articles are saying that Liverpool could be under different ownership by 2023, Steve. You're muted. You're muted, Steve. I
I
thought
think
you
it's going
could
to
go a
happen
whole
soon.
episode. I really did. I really thought you could go a whole episode without doing that.
I thought, God, you got me, my brain. I think it's going to happen soon, and I think it's going to be pretty quiet. And then all of a sudden, it's just going to be like, yeah. This is happening now. And then like 2 days later, it's complete. I think it's going to happen very quickly and quietly. Not like the Chelsea scenario, which obviously had more politics and drama around it. This will be this will be a silent in the night sale.
You think? We'll just
Yeah.
wake up and then it'll be like Liverpool under new ownership.
Yeah,
Bellingham on his
like
way.
final stages of deal for X, Y, and Z to purchase Liverpool. And then
Bellingham
within
and
48 hours.
Mbappe on the flight to Liverpool.
Bellingham.
Dude.
Bellingham scored that first goal in the first match for them. I'm like, 20 mil. There's an extra 20 mil.
Yeah.
Right. But then the US made him look terrible and he got
Yeah.
subbed off. And I was like, okay, minus 20 mil. Maybe we're still sitting around that 100 mark, 130. Just don't let it get to 200. I don't think we're worth that.
He needs to come over. I think he's going to be a Liverpool player. I do. It's got to be new owners, and it's just an insane amount of money, dude.
I don't think it has to be new owners.
It has to be. I don't think FSG are going to spend over 100 mil for a player.
Well, they're still the owners, and we've already started contact. That's been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano.
No, I understand.
So
that's good.
It will happen regardless. I think it will be new owners because they're not going to stick around just to buy Jude, but they're starting the process. So if it doesn't get sold, I think we will still buy Jude if we can with FSG.
Man, that would be I think like another thing, Julian Ward's stepping down. Did you see that?
I did see that.
That's probably that about?
Because of the sale of the club.
Oh, is that why?
It could be.
Okay. That makes
There's
sense.
A lot of changes happening at once. Maybe he sees the writing on the wall. They're not going to keep him. Maybe part of the sale of the club is the new owners are going to bring in their own people. I don't know. Maybe there's something personal going on. There's a lot of rumors you could go read, but there's not a coincidence that this is all happening at once.
No, it's not. And regardless, I just hope they sell it to good owners, like okay owners, just not people that are shady and dodgy like the Man City owners or anything like that. I don't want any drama with the club. I want the owners to be kind of silent. Like, they own the club, they give the funds necessary, they got the right people in the executive positions, and they let them do their job. You know what I mean? I'm tired of the drama.
Sounds like you want FSG again that just has a little bit more money.
No.
That's not going to try the Super League stunt. That's what it sounds like you want.
So yes, but all right, so I agree. FSG have kind of stayed quiet. But all the fans hate FSG for some reason. And it's like, I'm tired of that drama. Like,
it's because they're American and because of the Super League and because they don't spend like these other clubs can. Those are the three things.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think people have anything against Americans, but people swear that the owners have to know the sport and be passionate about the sport in order to be successful.
They do. No, dude, I think I would wager 30 to 50% of the reason is it's American owners. Like they don't like American people. They don't.
Maybe so. And like, that's not going to keep me up at night. I couldn't care less where the owners are from. It's their ethics, how they got their money. I don't want to be an oil club.
Right.
Things like that. But at the end of the day, FSG brought us from trash to the best club in the world again.
Cannot be overlooked.
There has been bumps in the road. Right, there's been bumps in the road. It's time for them to go. I agree with everybody. But I think whoever comes in next, like, they have big shoes to fill. From a success standpoint, anyone can splash the cash. Look at Chelsea. They splashed the cash. They won a Champions League in a weird year, but they haven't sniffed the league. Man United, splashing the cash. Nothing going for them.
Well,
Tottenham, nothing.
Yeah, that's
all
true.
These clubs have more money than us.
I don't.
If there's
Tottenham
no
doesn't.
success, whatever. Maybe not. If these new owners don't bring success, then the money doesn't matter. Because if we start buying new players, if we get Rice and Bellingham, and we're still fourth in the table at this point next season, what can you say then?
You're right. You're right. Because honestly, this club isn't as valuable as it is, or isn't as successful it is without Klopp. I think that's what it comes down to. Like FSG have
Right.
done a great job, phenomenal job, even. Okay, and I'll always stand behind FSG in terms of what they've done for the club. Yeah, the Super League stuff, that's a little, they messed up there, and they knew they messed up, which is why John Henry came out with the apology video. That's more of an ignorance thing. They were like, let's try to do this. Okay. People are always going to try to use that against them as to like why FSG were bad owners. And that's fine. That's their prerogative. But this club is not as valuable and wouldn't be where it is right now without Klopp. That's just the fact of the matter. And so with
Mm-hmm.
Klopp's extension to 2026, that's going to help out the new owners. Whoever comes in with the money, and someone said it in the chat here, Klopp with money is dangerous.
It's we think. We don't know.
I don't know.
We've never seen it.
Steve, you got any closing thoughts, man?
The World Cup is awesome.
So
Shout out
good.
to the United States.
So good.
They win, they move on. That's huge. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of all the Liverpool players at the World Cup.
Agreed.
I hope Trent gets a shot because I'm just depressed when they show the bench and he's sitting there. It's depressing.
Yeah.
And then you see 35-year-old Kieran Trippier getting absolutely torched by Pulisic for 90 minutes. Torched. It's nice to have a break from Liverpool, though. It is. Those are my closing thoughts. Thanks for joining us. This actually ran way longer than I thought because I thought I'd feel like crap.
But you
I'm
feel
glad that I
great.
feel okay. I feel pretty
Sometimes
good.
it's
It's
nice
this
to
tea.
just talk about with the World Cup. You know
It's
what I
this
mean?
tea. It's this tea. Shout out to England.
Shout out to England. Guys, thanks for tuning in. And it looks like
Stockport, England.
Morocco has beaten Belgium. So that's huge. That's actually massive, dude.
I told you. Belgium is poop.
Oh, man.
Belgium is so bad.
That's crazy. That's the ring. Of course, guys, good to be back. Appreciate your support. Thanks again for the super chats from Liz and my mother as well. And shout out to everyone here in the chat. We'll make sure I think I'm gonna try to do a video today about the new ownership rumors just to keep you guys updated. We'll see. But Steve, hope you feel better. Hope you enjoy the matches today, man.
Yeah, that was a 2-0 win for Morocco, by the way.
I saw.
Wow.
Yeah. Huge statement win.
Belgium. They still could get through.
Yeah, I think they will.
All right. It's been real.
It's been real. Take care, my man. See you guys.